A very good evening to everyone who's watching this live stream. First of all, I'd like to wish you all a healthy and prosperous new year. It's been a challenging year for us as a crew and as a nation, but we are pledged to move forward with the business with the third webinar of this series and our very first event of this Aluta and crew and your moderator for the evening. I'd like to introduce today's speaker, Dr. Beshan Kulapala. Over 15 years of experience in the industry, previously leading a team of firmware, hardware, and validation engineers to develop. Beshan holds a PhD in electrical engineering and an MBA from the Arizona State University, USA. A President Scout from St. Thomas's College, Beshan currently serves as the Visiting Scout Master of 16 Colombo Scout Group. So let's get connected to Dr. Beshan Kulapala. Good evening, Dr.
Thank you,
Beshan.
Nilukshan. Good evening.
Thank
Thank
you,
you for the wonderful introduction.
and thank you so much for agreeing to do this. And thank you for your service during this pandemic situation. You're saving a lot for this nation's benefit. So Dr. Beshan will discuss about how Sri Lanka is facing this pandemic using innovation. Before I hand it over to Dr. Beshan, I'd like to let you know that this webinar will be available on demand after the live session. And during the session, if you have any questions, you can shoot them out on the comment section so that we'll be choosing the most frequent questions and will answer them. And last, we'd like to encourage you to share today's webinar with your social networks. So crash that share button as always. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to Dr. Beshan. Dr. Beshan, over to you.
Well, thank you very much. First of all, I want to wish all of you all a very happy new year. I hope you all are staying healthy and safe. This is a very different time for all of us, and the number one thing that we are asked to do is to stay at home and take as much precautions as we can. So as we think about innovation and all the nifty things that we could do, we have to remind ourselves that the number one thing that we are asked to do by the government, the doctors, and everybody else is to stay at home and be safe. So I hope everybody is practicing. Let me see. So so the 19 has been a eye opener for all of us. I don't think we ever really planned for a pandemic like this in our lifetime. And I truly believe that this is a once in a generation kind of a thing, and the effects of this will be it will be very long lasting, and it will require all of us to give more for our families, for our country to get through these difficult times. So with all of that, innovation plays a major role in trying to get us back on our feet. Um, and I'm proud to say that a lot of Sri Lankans, not just Vega, but a lot of other companies and individuals have come forward with all sorts of ideas, new gadgets, using local materials and what they can find in their homes to develop healthcare or patient-related equipment and so on. So I think most of you all have seen some of that on TV, and I think that is a huge step forward to becoming an innovative country, to practice innovation and do something that helps the community. So if you look at some of the things that have been built, a lot of 3D printing work has been done. People are working on face masks for the doctors and nurses, to face shields. There are also people who are working on ventilators for the patients. Ventilators is becoming a worldwide problem where enough later the patient, so that is a huge big deal. Then there are cubicles of all sorts of nature that has come up to healthcare, to police people, to your own company people maybe, and then different kind of testing booths to test COVID-19 patients. So lots of new ideas. So I think that this is a great opportunity to use your valuable time, your maybe your smart ideas to kind of put things together. Of course, some of the challenges are that you are at home and trying to find all the materials is not easy. So that's something you need to work with. Um, but given all of that, people are working on it. So, 10, 20 years from now, when people ask you, what did you do during COVID-19, you need having a good answer to know that you've been working for your family, for your health, country, and for your school, for your troop, and all of that. So I'm really glad to see these kinds of webinars being organized. This is another example of innovation and getting into the digital space so that you can still do a lot of scouting from your home. And I know 16 Colombo also has been working very hard on this. So I'm really proud of all the scouts who have done marvelous in this front. Why is innovation important in a time like is something that we think about? Because when everybody is suffering, when the local resources that the government or the local police stations have, once they run out, there's a lot of opportunity for innovators to come in and fill that space. So this is the ample time to do it. If you look at the history during the Spanish flu, during this is when a lot of the small um, individuals or small companies became big giants because they understood the problem that people were facing, and they had innovative ideas. They couple that together. You give solutions for the problem that the people are facing. So when you are doing innovation, that's one thing that you need to really understand is like, what are you building, whom is it for, and is it going to be useful, and how much does it cost? All of those things are very important when you do innovative work. Some people, by mistake or not giving enough thought, would go down a path of building something very expensive that people can't buy. Some people would build something that is very cheap, but it's not very useful for that given opportunity, for that given problem. So then again, that product will not move forward. So these things have to be taken into account. The best way to get around doing innovative work and becoming successful is to get a few people together. Now, they don't have to come to your home. You can have all sorts of various communication methods to work together so that you bounce different ideas together. You get people who have expertise in that area to come and help you. So a good example is the ventilator that we've been working as part of Vega Innovations. We started this about 3 weeks ago now. The first we did was to get one of the country's most renowned doctors for using the ventilators in this country, Dr. Chandana Karunaratne from Balapitiya Hospital. So that you are not building something in the dark without understanding all of the problems. You have somebody in your team that really knows what the problem is and what the solution should be. So your problem is easier. Doing the final users involved to come and tell you exactly what they would need to do their job better. So that is very important. The other thing I think is trying to be resourceful, because there's so much that you can do from home, but your resources are limited. And this is where scouts play a massive role in uh, finding solutions for problems. Because when we go on camp, when we do a 16-mile hike, all that you have is the stuff that's on your back. You're not carrying a lot of things, so you become resourceful naturally. When you go on a jungle camp, for example, the first thing that you want to identify is what? Food, water, fire, safety items like that. Where do you pitch your tent? Things like this. So you try to understand um, what does the environment around you look like, what are the problems that could potentially come up, what resources are there that you could use for your survival. Food, it could be fruit trees or different vegetables or something like this. So you become naturally resourceful, and I think that is a very important key to becoming successful in the innovation space. I think in my life experiences also, I think scouting played a major role in me to get to where I am today. I don't think certain things in life would have worked well if I didn't do scouting, and I'm really thankful for that opportunity. So all the scouts that are watching this, you must understand that becoming a scout, not just doing your badge work, but being able to understand what scouting is, being able to work with others to find solutions when you feel like there's no other way to do things. That is what scouting should matter to you, and not just the badges. If you're just doing scouting for a President Scout badge, then you are not going to um, have all of the benefits that can come from scouting. There are benefits from just badge work, but to get all of that, you have to understand what scouting is. So I think this would be a good time for you all to think back on your scouting days, do more research on online, and try to understand how scouting can help you with all these things in life. So um, I don't want to digress too much, but coming back to the innovation part, I think when there are big problems like this in the country, this is the ample time to get into innovation. Try to understand what people are facing right now. I firmly believe that because of COVID-19, the whole world will change as to how we operate, how we do things, how we communicate, how we travel, and things like this. So it gives everybody a chance for new ideas to come up. What you thought were the big companies, or what you thought were the big ideas, are not the big ideas anymore, because those companies couldn't really find the solutions that you wanted. So uh, example is your local supermarkets. They are, although deliveries are working, they are still struggling to get to serve their customers. So I believe that internet-based e-commerce will get a very big boost out of this. So people who are working on web technologies, doing websites, or other technologies like that in the web space, will have a good opportunity to come out of this with new ideas. Um, um, what we call the last mile problem is where there's ample food in Kurunegala or other areas. There's ample stuff in Peta that people can buy, but delivering it to the last mile, delivering it to somebody's home is still a very difficult job. Sri Lanka is not really geared for deliveries like other countries like USA, where Amazon has played a huge role in this. So uh, those areas will have a massive opportunity to grow. Also think about community-based applications. It could be software, it could be hardware, it could be how people work together. So those will also become a huge thing. I'm also part of a company managing a company called AI Grow, which is agriculture technology, and we feel like there will be a huge opportunity for agriculture stuff at home, where people want to become more self independent, self sustained in food and their safety. So those are some of the areas that I think are really good areas to focus on, to see how to bring innovation and technology into this space. And I think COVID-19 is just an eye opener. The world still has a lot bigger problems coming our way. Global warming is one thing. The economic crisis after COVID-19 for most countries, if not for all the countries, will be another big thing to worry about. So those are the ones that you could focus on doing innovation. All right. So I think my time is slowly running out. But I want to give one quick uh, life lesson that really got me into this. So when I was doing my undergrads in University of Kentucky, I just moved from Sri Lanka to the US. I was a assistant scout leader, I think, at the point. And the first job I had was to work at the cafeteria there. And the first task that was assigned to me was to clean the garbage area. I remember this very clearly. It was snowing a lot. It was full of snow, and it wasn't the cleanest places. This garbage dump. But if you have gone to Campery or you have gone on a troop camp, you know what it takes to clean up your messes. So I just did that. That garbage dump got really cleaned up, and they offered me a student supervisor job right away. Just a few days of working, and I think that was the start of understanding what rewards are, understanding that hard work gives you back something, and this is why I keep telling you, scouting plays a major role in all of this. So just because you all are scouts already, you all have the tools to become very successful in life. So don't take that as as something that you will get naturally. You will have to work hard. Just doing scouting is not going to be enough. You can't say I'm a scout, I want this and that. You work really hard day and night to become successful. And if you take a look at most of the successful people, they have really worked hard to get where they are. So hard work pays off, and if you couple your energy, your innovation ideas, and hard work together, and you team up with people, I think sky is the limit for all of us. So I want to wish all of you all a very successful future. Think about ideas, innovation. What can you do? If you have any questions, you can ask me on FB or WhatsApp, or send me an email, and I'll be happy to give you some my thoughts or my ideas, or tell you where to go to get some help. So I think sky is the limit for all of us. So stay safe, and all the best.
Thank you so much, Dr. Beshan. So we have received several questions, which most of the questions are leading to one thing about your very successful project. the Vega supercar. So you've been to Geneva, and during the past couple of months, it has set up a trend on social media as well. People are now they know what how capable the Vega car is. So how it all started, and what's the current situation of the Vega? When will we be seeing the car on production level, the consumption?
Yeah, so I didn't talk about the car at all. I just remembered. Um, Listen, we went to Geneva with the car, with the stage, and all of that, hoping we'll talk to a lot of companies, generate a lot of interest to get investors to the country and take this project forward. But COVID-19 happened, and then we had to come back. We did the online show only. So this was a big step back for the team. I don't deny that. But this is why another reason why scouting really helps. You understand that things are not going to go the way you want every day, and big problems, big challenges are always looming ahead. So we have to take a step back, re-evaluate, all of our best options, and then make a path forward to get to that mountaintop. So this is what we're doing. The car will be back on the 24th of April, I believe, and then it will come back to our office in Maradana. We are talking to a lot of companies indirectly meaning through digital means, trying to build their interest, to show them what we have done, and what kind of a team we have. So that work is still ongoing. So we believe that we can still make a difference even if COVID-19 disrupted everything. Um, Again, a lot of the foreign companies will also look at countries like Sri Lanka to work to develop technologies to use local talents in Sri Lanka. So I think this is a good opportunity in terms of bringing engineering forward in our country, and I think it's a much needed thing also. Listen, we've been working on this for 6 years, about 5.5, 6 years now. Um, I have a wonderful of youngsters from all around the country. They are from all different backgrounds, from all different local and some international universities. Some have not gone to universities. Some so um, it should give all of us hope that there are talented young guys that are all over this country, and if we get them together, if you team them together, if you can work with them together, then you can do amazing things. When you try to do things alone and not try to share ideas, you want to put your name on it, saying I did this or I did that. Then I think those projects don't go forward. There are ample examples of these kind of innovations that haven't really gone anywhere because it's all about putting your name in the newspaper or in the local TV. It shouldn't be that. It has to be something that your team did, that we did as a team, uh, and then only you can really move forward and do amazing things for the country. So yeah, it's we are not done yet. We will take this car to production somehow. We are designing a production vehicle that will have a much higher spec, and I think we talked about that from Geneva. So those things will forward, and whatever challenges we come, scouts are, our motto is be prepared, and we need to be prepared. So Challenges come, we will face them together, we will beat them together, and take one step forward every day. So that's how we take these challenging times, as we need to fight back.
Yeah, well, you're 100% right, Dr. Beshan. So we would be definitely witnessing the success bigger innovations achieved in one day. And another question, as you mentioned about COVID-19. So from entrepreneurship to service, it has been a huge marginal uh, I couldn't say how, I don't know how to present it, but at your service to the nation, you're currently working on the ventilator project. So where does it stand now? So is it going to be in a production level? What's the situation about any updates that you could share with us?
Yeah, my contribution to this is really, really small. My team is currently working even right now from our office on the ventilator and a few other medical devices. Those are the guys we should be, as youngsters, you all should be looking up to. I think it's unfortunate that my face shows up for these things, but the actual people who work on these are youngsters like y'all, doing amazing things. Um, and they have been living at office during the curfew to make this happen. So those are the real people that are doing amazing services for this country from the background. And what makes them amazing is they are not doing it for the name. They don't want to get on TV. They don't want to speak publicly about it. They just want to build things that really helps people. And I think that that mentality is amazing. I'm really blessed to have a team like that. Our ventilator is not the cheapest one because we work with the anesthesiologist to develop this. What they are saying is the cheaper models are not going to work because COVID-19 patients have very difficult breathing problems. You need a very, somewhat of an advanced ventilator to help them. Our system, we are going back to GMO tomorrow to showcase what we have done. We are hoping to get government approval soon, and if we do, we will start production to make sure that we are ready to build this. Now, a lot of doctors that I'm talked to are saying that this is a good opportunity for medical technology to move forward. Another place that y'all can think about from a standpoint, because we have now already done this ventilator. It doesn't have to be just for COVID-19. If we put a little bit more effort, a little bit more research, then we could bring it to a point where you can use it in a normal hospital. So now we are trying to rethink even ourselves as to how much effort we want to put in the medical field. And given the opportunity, given how the world is changing, we are also focusing more energy on the medical side of things to help the communities and to make more products that we can really export to other parts of the world from Sri Lanka.
Thank you so much, Dr. Beshan, for agreeing to do this webinar for the betterment of all scouts. And for everyone else who was watching and learned something from this webinar, as you said, scouting, yeah, it's not just it's not just badge works and scout crafts. It's a mixture of a number of things. And I hope your service to the nation will continue. We are so proud of the height Vega Innovations has reached. It makes us more proud as a developing nation, and it's a motivating factor for us youngsters who are looking up to you. Thank you so much, Dr. Vishan. Thank you again. Hope you had a great evening.
Thank you very much for having me. I really, really appreciate it. Again, if you all have any questions about innovation and ideas and how to take things forward, don't hesitate to contact me through Facebook or WhatsApp or email. and I'll surely talk to you all to see how to work together.
Thank you again, Dr. Beshan. Hope you had a great evening. Good night.
Thanks. Good night. Thank you.
So that was Dr. Beshan Kulapala, everybody. Hope you all have learned something from this session. I myself had learned a lot of things. So there's an announcement from our side. After the successful completion of the virtual campfire and the ongoing webinar series, we were asked by so many scouts and other external young bodies, youth bodies, if they are like doing any recruitment program, or is there any way to join the district Rover crew and serve for the crew? So guess what? We are going to start a recruitment program on coming Thursday. So we'll be putting up more info about that on the couple of days. So stay tuned and like and follow our page to get more details about the recruitment program if you're interested. I hope you had a wonderful evening. So signing out, this is Nilukshan Krishnaram. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.